Sentry versus Superboy Prime. Oh boy, I've been waiting this since they announced it. After from the last one when they did Yuji versus Denji, I was like, all right. After this, I was like, I definitely need to react to this. Sentry versus Superboy Prime. I was like, oh my god, two Supermen fighting it out. Marvel's Superman versus the most powerful version of Superman ever. No, quite literally. I'm thinking about it recently. Like I mentioned in the last video, I actually have been recently reading the Superman comics current run. It was Reign of the Superboys with Superboy Prime. I'm actually liking it so far. Joshua Williamson is now I put him as one of my favorite writers currently right now in comics. Because I've actually also been enjoying his Iron Man run that he's writing right now. So, thank you Joshua Williamson. Shout out to him. But also, Superboy Prime's ridiculous. And a fourth wall breaker. So imagine if Deadpool had Superman powers. That's Superboy Prime. Because there's fourth wall breaking skills. But yeah, not entirely in that point. But yeah, you get what I mean for fourth wall breaks. But hey. So, my money's on Superboy Prime to win this fight. I know Sentry's strong, especially with the powers of the Void, but... Considering Prime has no weaknesses, this one's going to be a tough call. It's going to be close, I imagine. But I'm going to give this one to Prime, honestly. Unless they mention something that I am completely not aware of. But we shall see. We shall see. But I am excited for this. This video is 25 minutes long. So I can't wait for this fight. Anyways, let's get to watching. Alright, I'm guessing here's the preview. Ron gets sucked into the void. What? Death.
Sentry versus Superboy Prime.
These two dark Supermen prove that sometimes absolute power corrupts.
8-bit 2D animation.
He's Wiz and I'm Boom.
Nice.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Yeah. Alright, first up, we got Robert Reynolds.
One superhero stands alone at the peak of Marvel Comics. He's a brilliant scientist and friend to all, the Golden Guardian of Good, the Sentry.
Which makes it all the more mysterious when all of humanity forgot
Didn't
about
remember him.
as though he never existed in the first place.
What if the reason we forgot Sentry is that he wanted to be forgotten?
To save us from himself.
As the story goes, Robbie Reynolds was just your average, ordinary high school teen
AKA the
until the
Golden
day
Guardian
he
of Good,
accidentally drank
Fabio
the Super
Man.
Soldier Serum.
At that moment, Robbie was imbued with the power of a million
Owner of
exploding
Watchdog.
suns, becoming one of the strongest superheroes in existence.
That's gonna be one hell of a bowel movement. And what better way to use his new powers than to become a Sentry to all mankind?
In a never-ending crusade against his devious arch-nemesis, the Void.
He's got all your classic, I can't believe he's not Kryptonian superpowers, like super strength, speed, durability, and flight.
He can spot you from miles away, or even hear a butterfly sneeze from across the planet.
You butterflies sneeze?
No!
Well, Sentry's cells absorb and process the sun's rays, and if he wants to, he can fire that solar energy right back at you in a powerful...
Oh, let me exit out there. Enhanced strength, intelligence, senses. Of course, there's flight, solar energy manipulation, such as blasts and waves, force fields, invisibility, psionic powers, including telepathy, mind manipulation, memory erasure, teleportation, regeneration, molecular kinesis, and reality warping. I knew he had half of these at least.
laser, or bend light away to turn invisible, or use it to make force fields.
Really, the Sentry can draw power from anywhere and everywhere. When he was forcibly shrunk down to subatomic size, he started pulling energy from the microverse instead. And despite being microscopic, his punches were strong enough to destroy planets, even while holding back.
Sentry can teleport, communicate telepathically, and even read and mess with minds.
He's also a genius with a super brain comparable to Tony Stark and Reed Richards. He's even built his own watchtower with an advanced AI that is constantly monitoring the planet.
That one I wasn't aware of.
Jesus Christ, he's like the Avengers all in one. Why do there even need to be any other superheroes?
Indeed, the Sentry is more than strong enough to take on Marvel's heaviest hitters, like his famous battle with the Green Scar Hulk, where Black Bolt, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange failed. The Sentry was the only one who stood against the Hulk's full power.
He's also battled Thor, who
and he was fully powered too.
Timelines into one by clashing with another Thor.
The Sentry is incredibly fast too. He can bend space and speed blitz Ares, who can move within plank time, the smallest unit of time possible in our universe.
He's stated to be as fast as the Heralds of Galactus, like the Silver Surfer, who once outraced the multiverse blowing up. The Surfer flew so fast he went back in time, so you'd think Sentry would be able to handle some punk in a trench coat.
But it wasn't so simple. The Void was everywhere that the Sentry wasn't.
If Sentry saved people from a burning building, Void would crash an airplane. If Sentry healed a person's broken back, Void would give someone else cancer. What an asshole!
For every good act the Sentry performs, the Void commits an evil one. Because the truth was, the Sentry and the Void were one and the same.
Twist. Turns out Sentry's whole origin story was a lie. Robbie Reynolds wasn't a 60s high schooler beating up bullies like some Jack Kirby comic.
In reality, Bob Reynolds was a schizophrenic meth addict who drank the Sentry serum just to get high. And the Void was, in reality, a malevolent godlike entity bonded to Bob that was the literal angel of death.
Yes, from the Bible, with Moses and the Pharaoh and the dead firstborns. That's him, apparently!
And this being manifests as the dark side of Bob's shattered psyche, a villainous alter ego with all of his power. Too much power for any one man to handle. The only way to destroy the Void was to also destroy the Sentry.
So Bob did something crazy. With help from Reed's tech, he used his own psychic powers to erase himself from everyone's past, present, and future, including his own.
Warping the perception of reality of every single person on the planet. They would no longer remember him or even recognize anything remotely related to him. A picture of the Sentry would still technically exist, but in your mind's eye, including Bob's, it isn't there.
Great! Everyone knows repressing your problems always makes them better.
But Bob's memories eventually clawed their way back. In part thanks to Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, and his desire to somehow control the Void. So Norman had the Thunderbolts murder Bob's wife Lindy in order to release, you know, the Angel of Death.
Yeah,
which was fucking stupid.
The kind of guy who can throw hands with Molecule Man, who somehow is one of the strongest beings in all of Marvel. At his peak, he's got almost complete control over the multiverse.
Actually, now that's the funny thing when it comes to, you know, the Sentry, well, Molecule Man. Molecule Man is multiverse level, but I don't know if I could say the same thing for the Sentry, though.
So yeah, good luck with that one, Norm.
Molecule Man was another mentally unstable god whose power fluctuates based on their self-confidence. In a way, a sort of kindred spirit to Bob.
It was then that Bob discovered the true source of his own powers, his own control over molecules. Yeah, you can do that too.
The Sentry can create and destroy matter on a whim, able to rip you apart at the molecular level, or conjure an entire new reality from scratch, all with just a wave of his hand, like Dr. Manhattan.
He can also regenerate his body
I don't know
from
about
any
that.
kind of damage, like being burnt to a
If that was true, he would have used that against Noel in King in Black.
skeleton or getting Dr. Manhattan himself.
As long as one single solitary atom remains, the Sentry is unkillable.
And Void's got all of this and more.
Void, let's see. Infinity tendrils, darkness manipulation, weather manipulation, soul manipulation, pyrokinesis, shapeshifting, dimensional travel, and possession. Too bad we haven't seen too much of that.
He doesn't hold back. He can shapeshift, create hurricanes, trap you in darkness, possess your body, and devour your soul.
With his infinitendrils, the Void takes control of a victim's mind and tortures them with the memories of past traumas and nightmares.
He killed Loki. He wrecked Asgard. The Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the Inhumans, and the X-Men teaming up all at once could barely handle him. Void is one of the biggest bads in Marvel. Great fucking job, Norm. I'm
Exactly.
a moron myself.
The only way
I'm surprised they didn't mention the part where he ripped Ares in half, because that also didn't happen in that story.
forward, the only way for Bob
let's
to...
see the feats, actually, before we continue. Wields the power of a million supernovas, equal to Thor and Hulk. Debatable. That's my opinion. Flew light years in seconds, overloaded Absorbing Man with his energy, Void overpowered Doctor Strange and Loki simultaneously. I don't know which comic or story that happened in. Merged Sentry killed a dead Celestial. Also true, actually. I think that's what also happened in King in Black. Defeated Ares, Loki, Doctor Doom. When did he beat Doctor Doom? Blue Marvel, Molecule Man. Keep in mind, was Blue Marvel was caught off guard in that story. From the origins of Blue Marvel, when Sentry just, was fighting him. Sentry was knocked out at first, then he came back out of nowhere and caught Blue Marvel off guard, so... I'm just saying. Blue Marvel is, probably a lot more capable than the Sentry. If you know, you know.
Save everyone, including himself, was to do something he never imagined. Let the Void in.
By refusing to repress his darker half anymore, Sentry and Void merged and became stronger than the sum of their parts.
One being, now free to finally live his life without the crushing weight of self-hatred and fear.
Maybe, but this is the Void we're talking about. What if Bob just has a new puppet master who's only letting him think he's in control?
As long as the Void exists, it's just another revolution in that same endless cycle. It remains to be seen whether even death itself can break that wheel.
He'll be back.
Sentry is gone, but not forgotten. He'll never be forgotten again.
Alright, on to Superboy Prime.
A man can fly.
Yeah, Wiz, but in the pages of DC
Crypto!
Comics, everyone in their irradiated six-dimensional gorilla mother can do it.
Well, what about in the real world? Not Earth 1 or Earth 2, but our own Earth.
Earth Prime.
The Earth of you, me, and Clark Kent,
Kal-El,
a
Clark
totally
Kent.
normal boy from New England who just happened to share a
Time
name with
Trapper,
that comic
Superman
book character.
Prime.
Mere coincidence.
I'm
That
a
is,
fanboy.
until the day Clark took a leap of faith and believed he could fly.
And he did. Surprise, surprise, Clark was actually from the planet Krypton, which apparently exists in our universe now? Anyway, the real Superman, the one from all those comics he loved, showed up just in time to give him the skinny on being Superboy. Wait, he could have chosen me! I believe I can fly!
Mostly, don't jump off the...
Ouch.
Clark had all your classic Kryptonian powers. Flight, heat vision, microscopic and telescopic sight, Arctic breath. It was the dream that every little boy had finally come
Keep
true.
in mind, this was Silver Age too.
Just in time for his universe, our universe, to be annihilated. Literally
Yep,
one
Crisis
month
on
later
Infinite
in
Earths.
DC Comics Armageddon. The Crisis on Infinite Earths. Wiz, we're canonically dead since 1986, apparently.
With everyone he knew and loved gone, Clark took shelter in a pocket dimension with other cosmic refugees. Now an anachronism in DC's new, rebooted, post-crisis continuity, Clark
Paradise
was
Dimension.
forced to watch as the comics landscape changed before his eyes. As stories became darker and morally complex, as heroes failed to be the paragons of good he saw them as in his childhood.
As someone else got to be Superboy.
Some people
Connor
can't
Kent.
stand change, can't stand to see a world that doesn't look the way it did when they were a child. The day needed to be saved by Superboy, the real Superboy, Superboy Prime.
So he did what any Superboy would do. Punch really hard.
He punched the fabric
his
of reality.
Dimension so hard, the shockwaves rippled through the universe and retconned DC Comics.
Yep, even bringing back Jason Todd from the dead. Keep that in mind. That's how it originally happened. That's how Red Hood was reborn.
Superboy was back, and he was gonna fix comic books forever. Hell yeah!
No matter how many fake heroes got in his way.
Oh shit! Super Chud Prime isn't just your ordinary Kryptonian.
No.
He's pre-crisis.
As in,
Pre-crisis.
from before the Crisis on Infinite Earths, a time when comics were a bit more comical.
When Superman
and bullshit.
solar systems apart or tow a galaxy of planets behind him like it was nothing.
Or
Silver Age.
Kryptonians so hard, they generated enough power to restore an infinite number of timelines.
Get ready to hear that word a lot. My favorite is the time Superman flew so fast he broke the light barrier, the time barrier, and even the bonds of infinity. I wonder if these writers ever imagined this bullshit would feed nerd arguments for the next half century. Not complaining. That's how I get paid.
Prime would know. He
True.
is a self-described power scaler's dream.
Oh yes.
You think he's heard about us?
We can only...
Oh, I love how they just included this as a fourth wall break because he can break the fourth wall.
Hope not. As a Kryptonian with an ultra-dense molecular structure, he should also share many of the same resistances, like being transmuted to stone.
But also keep in mind, he has no weaknesses. Okay. arsenal abilities, solar armor, Kryptonian biology, of course, the resistances to molecular manipulation, soul manipulation, and existence erasure. And temporal anomaly, retcon punches, time travel.
Having his atomic bonds weakened, or getting his energy drained. Kryptonians like Superman can withstand more esoteric attacks too. They can actively resist mental attacks by outthinking them, and their souls can resist being destroyed.
All thanks
Yep.
to Earth's good old yellow sun fueling.
Let's see this quote. Superboy Prime also has the Silver Age Kryptonian ability to vibrate his molecules to travel to other universes or higher dimensions. Yeah, again, Silver Age was such bullshit back then.
his cells. And unlike that post-crisis super fraud who gets weaker without sunlight, Prime's got it covered.
With a suit of armor made from the corpse of the Anti-Monitor, which constantly feeds him solar energy.
I forget where that
Literally
came
wearing
from.
the pelt of the monster who destroyed his universe, just to be better and stronger than Superman.
Because that's
Yep.
what he thinks he is. Superman with better feats in scaling. Superman, but real.
Superman, if he was a fucking idiot. Okay, sure, he has the same hyper-efficient brain
True.
that all Kryptonians
He
have,
is stupid.
But when it came to being a superhero, he was a violent, immature moron.
Exactly what you'd expect from a kid who never grew up and never learned to hold back. Instead of saving Earth's heroes, he started massacring them. And let's be real,
Yep.
there's a part of him that knows that editorial will just bring them all back eventually.
He's battled the Doom Patrol, Justice Society,
He's not wrong!
Titans, and 3
He's not
Flashes
wrong.
at once. He
Infinite Crisis. Infinite Crisis was a fun time.
effortlessly murdered an alternate universe Justice League and even killed his rival, Connor Kent, the new Superboy. Even as other Kryptonians grew in power to become comparable to their pre-crisis iterations, Prime still held an advantage because he never held back.
Like the time he tore apart the Monarch's armor, accidentally unleashing the Big Bang in his face, destroying the universe, and he was fine.
Or the time a Guardian of the Universe
Yeah.
blew himself up in an attempt to stop Prime, blasting him into the multiverse atom by atom, and that only made Prime stronger.
Or the time he fought
Which
a
was
potential
bullshit.
future version of himself who became a god of time. And instead of
Time
teaming up,
Trapper.
Prime stupidly attacked him and accidentally retconned themselves both out of existence.
Which sent him home, back to his
Yeah.
original universe, our universe. Except now everyone he knew, his parents, his girlfriend Lori, had been reading his comics. They knew what he had become, and they were terrified.
Once again, forced to watch as his heroes progressed without him, he pored over comic after comic, learning everything about DC.
And a little bit of Marvel.
Only to discover
what the
his
fuck?
comic,
Hold
learning
up.
everything about DC.
And a little
Where did this come from? This is new to me. What the hell? Can someone please explain this shot for me?
bit of Marvel.
Only to discover his worst possible nightmare.
Not only would he never get to be Superman, he wasn't even a super villain that people liked. Turns out, power levels aren't everything.
So,
Yeah.
naturally, he flew to DC headquarters and attacked the people writing his own comic.
Like some infinitely recursive meta hell.
Prime had become a whiny, petulant, reactionary fanboy. Wiz, you think he's the guy posting on our Reddit?
And at the peak of his violent temper tantrum, he murdered
Maybe.
the Golden Age Superman. The
Yeah.
original Superman. Action Comics #1. The first superhero.
Instead of restoring DC's glorious past, Prime beat it to death. He needed to change.
And that opportunity came when this alternate universe Jokerized Batman Who Laughs threatened to destroy all of
right.
reality.
Prime was drafted to help
That's where-
save the
that's where
day,
he came
and
back.
it turned out he was the only Superboy who could.
Remember that time Prime punched reality so hard he retconned DC Comics? Turns out that was no coincidence. Due to his
What?
repeated excursions across the multiverse, Prime became a space-time anomaly. And he
not
slowly learned how
surprising.
to manipulate reality itself with his fists.
I guess you could call it his
To manipulate
see,
reality
come on, get Silver Age with me.
itself with his fists.
I guess you could call it his retcon punch.
At first, its effects were random,
Fair.
like bringing Jason Todd back to life or
Hey, they mentioned it.
Boy's memories. But he started to use it to rewrite continuity to fix the evil universes of the Batman Who Laughs.
Giving them and all the characters inside of them happy endings. In a weird
Ah.
way, that's what Superman has always done, right? Punch the bad guys so hard he saves the day.
Prime can punch hard enough to enter
Let's see the feats. Moved and destroyed planets, tanked the Monarch's Big Bang, reacted to 3 flashes at once. You know, Infinite Crisis, where they all took him into the Speed Force, punched his way out of the Phantom Zone, altered DC Comics continuity multiple times, fought Post-Crisis and Golden Age Superman simultaneously, and defeated Black Lantern's Ion, Mr. Mixolydic, and the Darkest Knight. Oh yeah, I forgot about Mixolydic, actually. Yeah, I'm surprised he was able to beat him too. Yeah, I think that he was actually being tortured by Prime. Crazy enough.
The time stream.
Oh, hold on.
Punch the bad guy so hard he saves the day.
Prime can punch hard enough to enter the time stream, seemingly exit the comic medium entirely, and even defeat the nigh omnipotent Darkest Knight.
Who was powerful enough to beat Perpetua, the goddess who created all of DC Comics, the whole shebang. And Prime hit the Darkest Knight so hard, he erased his entire evil multiverse.
A feat that
nice.
No one actually saw happen. Prime's first true act of heroism was one that he did selflessly. And it was the first step toward becoming a true hero.
The kind of hero that Superman always secretly knew he could be. A hero who could someday get his own issue #1.
Which he did. Well, not exactly. But, you know, this right here.
His own issue #1.
Yep. Superboy prime time starts here. Now he's currently the temporary Superman in DC Comics. Was, you know, Superman being out there in the multiverse creating his own universe, now being God powers after DC KO. So now I get to see Superboy Prime take his place for the time being, which is fun so far. Like I said, I brought out issue 2 earlier. It's been fun. I really haven't read a Superman comic beforehand, but I was like, man, I'm enjoying this run so far with Superboy Prime. Joshua Williamson, I like your writing. Can't wait to see what more you have for us.
A hero like, well, Superman.
Maybe one day Prime will truly believe in himself. Just like he once believed he could fly.
Yeah.
All right, the battle's about to begin. But first, pitch calls are back. Hey, I'm Ben, the voice of Wiz.
What's up?
And I'm Chad, the voice of Boomstick. And we're reopening matchup pitches on the Death Battle store.
This is a way to meet with Chad and I, the creators of Death Battle, and pitch your favorite matchup to us via video call.
Yeah, a lot of episodes that are being made right now are because they were pitched. But to give each pitch the time it needs, there's a limited number available. So go pick them up right now before they're gone on deathbattle.gg.
That's our website. It's kind of like our own private...
Good to know. Good to know.
Patreon with a bunch of extra stuff in every episode of Death Battle ever made.
And if you're a website member, you get first dibs. It'll first be available to...
Good to know. I'll keep that in mind. See.
We've run the data through all possibilities.
Let's get to the fight.
Death Battle!
See how this plays out first. Alright. Metropolis. Oh! Straight hands right away!
Longer. Quit while you're behind, kid.
Mess up a superhero crossover? No way, dork.
Ha!
Onomatopoeia coming right up.
Whip! Yeah, that's nothing.
You're dealing with someone who has the power.
Like he gives a shit.
Exploding suns.
Big mistake, dipwad.
Oh yeah.
It's what?
Prime time, bitch. Oh, is the boy coming out early?
Me? Another dark Superman fraud? Boring. It's cool when I do it.
I gotta go back to that one.
Fraud? Boring.
I love the whole fourth wall moment when he's just looking at the camera. I was like, wait, I'm not. No, fuck off.
It's cool when I do it.
Yep. Ooh, nice move. I'm surprised he's only... Oh no, they're both bleeding now.
Please, stop hitting me.
He'll kill you. I'll kill you. To death.
Oh! That's nothing. And you let out the void! Oh no!
Time to play God. Bye, Bob. It's time to play God.
Here we go. See how he fares against the Void.
Okay, you weren't joking. Definitely a crisis level threat. Luckily, so am I.
Run all you want! If Bob couldn't escape me.
What hope do you have, boy? Afraid of the Dark Clark? What kind of a hero are you? Remind me again, whatever happened to Lori?
Oh no. Oh shit, no, this can't
It's
be
over,
it.
Clark. There is no happy ending. Not for you. Not for me. Not for anyone else. In the void.
Haven't you ever read a comic book, you big freaking nerd? There's always a happy ending.
Aw, shit. Oh! Who punches harder? Ah, hell yeah!
Bob? You kept talking about the Sentry. Bad dream?
No idea, Lindy. Best sleep I've had in years.
Crisis averted.
I called it! Let's go!
I think I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, I called it. I fucking called it. He had the stronger punch. My boy Superboy Prime won! It's kind of obvious though, considering man has no weaknesses and is pretty much the most powerful version of Superman ever. So, he's broken. So, I called it. Cool way for him to end it, giving Sentry that closure he needed to not, you know, kill him. So, good job, Superboy Prime. Props to you. This is probably one of my favorite ones so far by this year. Definitely my favorite one so far this year.
Someone beaten to death so wholesomely before.
Let's break this down into 3 chapters.
That's one way to put it, yep!
Intelligence and powers.
As with any flying brick fight, the first question you gotta answer is, who's stronger?
Prime and Sentry are
probably a
naturally
draw.
2 of the heaviest hitters in DC and Marvel, more than capable of matching and surpassing Herald-level opponents like Superman and Thor.
Well,
Who
maybe
are both
Prime was
strong enough
definitely
to create and
stronger.
destroy an infinite number of timelines with their clashes. Just absolute wacky bullshit like that.
So in order to pick a winner, we have to take a close look at the strongest beings they fought. Molecule
Yeah.
Man and the Darkest Night.
Sentry beat the crap out of Molecule Man, but remember, Eminem's power can fluctuate a lot, and when he fought Sentry, he wasn't at his full power. So
No,
we
he
can only
wasn't.
scale this so far.
But Prime overpowered the Darkest Night after the Mad Bat had absorbed the powers of both Perpetua and, what do you know, Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan,
Both of
yeah,
which
who's
alone
also very
could threaten
broken.
all of DC Comics.
And unlike with Molecule Man, there's nothing to suggest the Darkest Night was holding back. In a straight brawl, Prime takes the edge in strength. But
He had the
muscles
stronger
aren't
punch.
everything. Maybe Sentry could figure out a way around Prime's brawn with his intelligence.
While Prime does
Yeah.
possess a super advanced Kryptonian brain, he clearly
He
does
was
not
still
use it to its full
stupid,
extent.
yeah.
It's less that he's dumb and more that he's a teenager and has a habit
That
of
too.
crashing out.
The Sentry, on the other hand, has been compared to Tony Stark and Reed Richards, some of the most intelligent people in all of Marvel Comics.
Sure, he mentally struggles with the whole Void thing, which sucks for him, but losing control to the Void only makes him more dangerous.
And as the Merge Sentry, he's operating at his peak, fully in control of his powers. In a test of wits and wills, the Sentry was the
Sentry
more
took that one.
intelligent.
But the main question in this matchup had to do with their batshit insane power.
The Sentry's ability
Prime
to
is taking this
reshape
one.
molecular
I'm telling
matter
you.
And warp perception of reality to such an incredible degree, his
Yeah.
powers seem much more versatile than Prime's. Prime may be
Nope.
stronger, but heat vision, frost breath, and Kryptonian punches aren't going to do much in the long run against someone who can regenerate from a single atom.
But pre-crisis Kryptonians have actually resisted having their molecules torn apart before, and Prime should be no different. So it's not like Sentry was ever going to just Doc Manhattan him away.
Prime could still be worn down. Kryptonians have incredible stamina, but we know that sustained damage will eventually knock them out or kill them.
Unless Prime could find a way around Sentry's insane regeneration, he was toast.
Luckily for Prime, his ability to retcon away your history and mess with your whole timeline was actually something Sentry had no specific resistance to.
Not only that, it was something he's been affected by in the past.
Like the time the Scarlet Witch rewrote all of reality during House of M. Bob's continuity was rewritten like everyone else's.
Or the time Absorbing Man had the powers of a cosmic cube and warped Sentry's personal reality. Shit, Moonstone literally describes it as a reality punch.
Now, Sentry's psionic power could theoretically retcon himself from Prime's perception of reality. However, this feat required assistance from Reed Richards, and it's unlikely he could pull it off mid-fight.
Pre-Crisis Kryptonians also resist a lot of mind manipulation anyway, so good luck trying.
Now, Prime hasn't always had the most perfect control over his retcon punch, so he might need more than one blow to finish the job.
But Prime was more than capable of powering through Void's scariest abilities.
Like having his soul eaten, or being cut off from sunlight. I guess that Edgelord solar armor came in handy after all.
In short, Prime could resist everything Sentry could throw at him, but Sentry couldn't do the same. Prime takes the final edge in power.
With no way to easily put him down.
Congratulations to my boy Superboy Prime.
The Void away for good.
Sorry, Bob. Defeat was unavoidable.
The winner is Superboy Prime.
What the fuck?
Oh, hey, my pizza's here.
The winner is Superboy Prime. Letter to the editors? Oh yeah, I win. That's right. You hack frauds really tried to lowball me, but I checked the clock, and it's prime time, baby. Now, personally, that intelligence section was such a gimme. I don't crash out. I'm a tragic hero grappling with real, intense emotion. I can be smart anytime I want. But anyway, don't subscribe, don't join as a member, don't watch Death Battle, read my comics. Prime out.
Next time
That's
on
funny.
Death Battle.
I'm giving you kudos for that. And that one was actually pretty good. You haven't seen anything like that since the last time Deadpool was in here. Anyways, who's next time? Okay. Aang again versus Traveler from Genshin Impact? Okay. A returning winner comes back to fight a new challenger. Interesting. May not react to that one though, since I'm not too familiar with Genshin Impact. We'll see. But besides from that, I love this fight. I love this fight. This is probably one of my favorite ones this year, that by far, like I said earlier. This was definitely either... Okay, because we got Ichigo and Yusuke, and we got Metal Sonic and Cell. I really like the Metal Cell versus Metal Sonic so far. But this one, I really liked this one too. This one has actually, by far, between those two are definitely my top two so far this year for Death Battle. Just saying. Okay, but props to Death Battle for this one. I actually like this. And this is also, I think, the very first time we've actually gotten... excuse me. We've gotten Superboy Prime in any sort of entertainment or, live form. Yeah. This is gonna be... Yeah. I really love this. I wish we could eventually get him in some form of media eventually besides from comics, because we have yet to see any sort of live action from him at all yet. So I'm hoping we can get that someday. In a cartoon, a movie, animated movies maybe specifically, because who knows? We'll never probably ever get him in live action, but one can hope. Man. I want to see these comments real quick. Prime giving Sentry a happy ending is not just wholesome, it's also perfect biggest middle finger he could give to Death Battle. That's true. That is so true. I love that part. I knew Prime would win. I didn't expect him just to kill the Void and let Bob live. Guess he really is Superman after all. Yep. He is a Superman after all. He's, like I said, a lot's changed in the past 20 years since Infinite Crisis. Man's fully redeemed himself. And again, in the more recent things in the past year, it's all about getting second chances. And he's been doing a good job at that. So props to you, Superboy Prime. Props to you. That's why I'm really starting to read the book now. I'm really liking Reign of Superboy. So Superboy Prime's low-key a real one for that ending. Homeboy Prime really debuted a big in animation was this episode. Yep, indeed he did. Who voiced Superboy Prime, actually? I'm curious. Who did the voices here? Sean Chiplock, okay. And then Phillips Sacramento did Sentry. Okay. Yeah. I don't know who... Now, Sean Chiplock sounds familiar. I don't know who he is, but I'll look him up later. But overall, I loved it. Can't wait to see what other things we'll get. The next one we're getting is Anger's the Traveler. I'll watch it. I don't know if I'll react to it, though. But we'll see. We'll see. But overall... But I take, even though, like I said, I take every result with Death Battle with a grain of salt. But I kind of saw this one coming. This one seemed obvious to me. So I agree with this outcome. Overall, I enjoyed it. 10 out of 10 for me. 10 out of 10 for me.